This week, the world's most famous, most visited, and supposedly most secure museum was breached. The sheer audacity of the crime has left the world reeling. We are talking about the Louvre Museum in Paris, and a theft so shocking, it's already being called the biggest heist of the decade. Under the very noses of its security, in broad daylight, a gang of thieves vanished with a trove of diamonds and jewels worth an estimated $102 million. 4 days on, despite an international manhunt, the police have nothing. The country's reputation is tarnished, and the pressure on authorities is immense. This isn't just a robbery. It feels like a scene ripped straight from the best Hollywood or Bollywood heist movies. But the reality is even more unbelievable. On Sunday morning, October 19th, the script for this impossible robbery began to unfold. And the most shocking detail? It didn't happen under the quiet cover of night, but at 9:30 a.m., just as the Louvre was opening its doors to hundreds of tourists from around the globe. The heist, which saw 8 pieces of priceless jewelry stolen, including necklaces, a tiara, and brooches once worn by the queens of France, was carried out in a total of just 7 to 8 minutes. All of this, mere meters away from the world's most guarded painting, the Mona Lisa. The precision and execution of this robbery would make the creators of Money Heist or Lupin blush. But what makes it truly exceptional is the chillingly meticulous planning. The story of the operation actually begins 9 days earlier, on October 10th, 20 kilometers from Paris. That's when a maintenance truck equipped with a freight elevator was stolen. At the time, no one paid it any mind. It was just a stolen truck. But at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, that same stolen truck was parked discreetly on a sidewalk adjacent to the Louvre. 3 men emerged, dressed in construction jackets and hard hats, looking every bit like a maintenance crew. They used the truck's basket lift to reach the south end of the museum's Apollo Gallery. For a moment, the guards inside simply thought a cleaning was taking place, a common sight in Paris. But at 9:34 a.m., the charade ended. With a sudden high-pitched whine, the 2 men began cutting the thick glass window of the gallery with heavy-duty angle grinders. They were inside within a minute. Once inside the Apollo Hall, the area housing the 19th-century French royal jewels, the thieves quickly got to work, using their grinders to smash open the glass display cases and extract the artifacts. As panic erupted in the museum, the unarmed security staff focused on their protocol, evacuating the visitors first. The police were informed, and the exit points were sealed off, but the size of the former royal palace meant there was no magical lockdown system. At 9:38 a.m., the thieves were done. They exited through the very same window they entered, where their escape vehicles were waiting. No truck, no cars, just 2 high-powered Yamaha TMA-X scooters, parked and ready to go. This particular model, capable of speeds up to 200 kilometers per hour, is infamous among thieves in Europe, a two-wheeler the police are trained to look out for. In a military precision operation lasting barely 8 minutes, the robbers made their escape, leaving behind only the stolen truck, a yellow jacket, and a disc cutter. So, what did they take? The haul included the tiara and necklace set worn by Queen Hortense, studded with 24 Salon sapphires and thousands of diamonds. The emerald wedding gift set given by Napoleon to his second wife, Marie-Louise, featuring 32 Colombian emeralds. And the diamond-laced Empress Eugenie's tiara and brooch. In the chaos, they left behind the Empress's crown, which was recovered in a damaged state near the scooters. But the critical question remains: how was the security of the world's largest museum so easily circumvented? The museum's own chief of security admitted to negligence and an outdated system. The director, Laurence Descartes, confirmed that the Louvre's security was dangerously poor. The very spot the thieves chose to enter had only 1 security camera, and it was facing the wrong way. A fatal strategic flaw was exposed. In recent years, the museum had shifted its primary security focus to countering vandalism attacks by climate activist groups who throw paint on paintings. The system was prepared for activists, not armed robbers. When the thieves arrived in broad daylight, the entire system was underprepared. The primary protocol was to protect the visitors, not the priceless artifacts. This is not the first theft at the Louvre. In 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen, creating the heist of the century, though it was recovered 2 years later. But this robbery is different. Unlike paintings, which are difficult to sell and hold value only for their historical significance, jewelry can be dismantled. The diamonds, emeralds, and gold can be recut, repolished, and sold as individual pieces. Their identity can be completely erased. This is why the police are so worried. Every passing day increases the likelihood that the $102 million haul has already been broken down and shipped out of the country.
To sell and launder the piece would be in what would be an absolute nightmare for us, to dismantle the objects, take them apart, and recut the diamonds. But that would require accomplices who, in my opinion, would be reluctant to get involved in such an operation.
The combined value of all these crown jewels, because of their historical value, is impossible to measure according to the French government, and experts say it may be impossible to recover. There's a very small percentage in recovering stolen artworks, but when it comes to jewelry, that percentage is even less. This is true for two reasons. For starters, no matter what priceless thing is stolen, they're pretty difficult to sell. You can't exactly post them on Facebook Marketplace. And even if you did find an illicit buyer, how does that buyer show their brand new acquisition to anyone without putting themselves at great risk of being caught? But jewelry, in particular, unlike say a painting, can be remade into a brand new valuable thing. Gold can be melted down, precious stones cut and recut. Once they've been cut into smaller jewels, the deed is done. It's over. We'll never see these pieces again intact. So, in an important way, there is very much a time limit to find and recover these crown jewels. This heist has exposed a shocking vulnerability at the heart of the art world. An 8-minute blitz that was years in the planning. As tourists now flock to the museum to look at the broken glass instead of the Mona Lisa, the world waits to see if the thieves, who have managed to pull off the impossible, will ever be found, and if the jewels, the spoils of a long-ago colonialism, will ever be recovered.